Welcome. Today we're stepping into a place that, well, it might look like just another charming French town at first glance. Castillonnès.
Right. But it turns out to be absolutely brimming with hidden histories. Some really surprising insights.
It's described as this beautiful green haven, and, they even suggest its natural abundance might contribute to the long lives of the people there.
And our way in today is, well, it's quite special. We're using a local publication, the Town Crier of Castillonnès, specifically the June 2025 issue.
Yeah, so our mission, if you like, is to dive into its pages. We're looking for these nuggets of knowledge. Could be anything from practical solutions forgotten over time to ancient mysteries, even buildings with incredible stories.
Exactly. It's really about understanding what it means to hold on to those elements of good living, the valuable traditional know-how.
We'll see how this community tackled challenges like over a century ago that feel incredibly relevant now.
Yeah.
We've got a historical education plan, a hunt for lost churches. That sounds intriguing.
Oh, it is.
The story behind a river's name, one building's many, many lives, and even like a fictional dip into ancient myths inspired by the place.
It's quite a mix, all packed into this one local source.
So let's start back in 1920 with what the source sort of frames as the 1920 solution.
Okay.
It tackles this timeless problem, right? How practical knowledge gets lost. The source notes how, trends in social media often replace the know-how once passed down.
We see that all the time. People want to plant things, have a garden.
Exactly. But maybe they don't quite know how to go about the actual pruning or treatments, the tricky bits. So how did Castillonnès handle this way back then?
Well, it's pretty impressive, actually. In 1920, they didn't just talk about it. They proactively requested a formal post-school course in agricultural education.
A course.
Yeah, and specifically a school for the pruning of fruit trees. It wasn't just an idea. They had a whole structure planned out.
Right, to make sure those skills didn't disappear. And who was it for?
Well, that's key. It wasn't just for the kids, the pupils of the upper primary school. It was also aimed directly at the farmers of the district.
Ah, so reaching the whole community. Smart.
Definitely. And they planned the funding, too. Subsidies from the General Council, either in funds or in kind, shows real commitment.
And the leadership. Did they have qualified people running it?
They did. Management was entrusted to Mr. Giraud, the school's headmaster, and he had help from Mr. Bourdillon. And, crucially, both of them held certificates of competence in agricultural education.
Okay, so they knew their stuff.
And for the practical side, the hands-on learning, they budgeted for a practical instructor. His salary was covered by that General Council subsidy.
Really focusing on the doing, not just the theory.
And it didn't stop there. They even got the deputy mayor involved, Mr. Marbleu. He was also the town vet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, known for his professional expertise. He agreed to give special lectures. Practical stuff like handling domestic animals, epidemic diseases, things that were of great use to farmers. A really rounded approach for 1920.
Wow, so they weren't messing around. Did it actually happen?
It moved fast. The mayor pushed to get the request to the prefect right away, and on October 31st, 1920, the council unanimously approved it.
Unanimous. Nice.
Yeah, and they even allocated money, 200 francs from the current budget, to back it up. Clearly a priority.
It really makes you think. Like the source asks, should we take inspiration from this today?
It's a good question. Could we, dust off some old ideas like this for the challenges we face now? Especially around preserving those practical skills.
That proactive spirit is one thing, but the Town Crier also pulls us back into the past, into some real mysteries, like these lost churches.
Ah, yes, this is fascinating.
The publication mentions ancient maps that mention churches which have now disappeared. And crucially, it says the earliest churches of Castillonnès were not built atop our limestone plateau.
Right, suggesting the town's origins might be, well, somewhere else nearby. They say there are a few clues as to their location, but nothing truly precise. Finding them will surely add a new chapter to the town's history.
So, where do we start? The Church of St. Front.
Okay, St. Front. The story connects it to something called the Mansus Morinensis. Probably an old estate and a hermitage, like deep in a forest.
A hermitage.
Yeah, and the story behind that involves a knight, an Aquitanian knight, named Morin. From the First Crusade.
Okay, First Crusade, go on.
So Morin gets wounded, taken prisoner, and while he's captive, he vows that if he ever gets home, he'll dedicate his life to God.
A classic battlefield vow. Did he make it back?
He did. Jerusalem was captured, he was freed, and he kept his word. Divided his estate, sold his horse and weapons, gave the money to the poor.
Wow.
And then he withdrew into the solitude of a wooded area belonging to the lords of Mons. Right there, on banks of the Dropt, he built a hermitage and a small chapel, dedicated it to Saint Front, who was the apostle of Perigord.
What an incredible story, from knight to hermit.
It really is. And these personal acts of faith, they often became seeds for communities. After Morin died, a proper church was built there, became a parish. Then, in 1153, there's a papal bull, Pope Eugene, granting the land to Sarlat Monastery. And soon after, monks from Castillonnes took over.
Right, and monks often meant settlement, didn't they?
Exactly. They were catalysts. They attracted settlers, mostly from Limousin and Perigord, offering land grants, other perks. And bit by bit, they turned those wild moors into fertile, welcoming lands all around the church.
So the church was like an anchor. But where was it?
Ah, that's the mystery. There's no place called Saint Front today, but an old map hints it must have stood on the south bank of the Dropt, west of the Salève Mill, somewhere towards Saint-Quentin.
Any specific landmarks?
The publication suggests a place called La Petite Métairie may be very close to where it stood. So, tantalizing clues, but nothing definite.
Okay, so that's one lost church. What about the Church of Douin? Or Glaise Douin?
Right, Douin. This one's really significant. It was dedicated to St. Peter in chains, and get this, it served for centuries as the mother church of Castillonnès.
The mother church, before the main one now.
Exactly. Suggests it predates the town as we know it. Its location is clear, too.
Right.
Near the stream known as La Douin, which is a small tributary of the Dropt. There's still a place called La Douin today.
Okay, so the location is known. Why is it lost then?
Because the focus shifted. In 1259, the bastide of Castillonnès, that fortified new town, was founded right on the territory of Douin.
Ah, the new town.
Yes. And a new chapel dedicated to Our Lady was built inside the new town walls. That eventually became the current parish church.
So the old one got left behind.
Pretty much. Being outside the town walls, the Church of Douin was gradually abandoned. Especially after the Wars of Religion, it just fell into ruin.
How bad did it get?
By 1597, records say it was already deserted and roofless. And by 1666, apparently, only the foundations remain.
Wow. Just foundations. Do we know exactly where those are?
According to a researcher, L.J. Hoare, it corresponds to Plot 137 of the Land Registry, right at the edge of the plateau, along the road to Montoriol. So, gone, but meticulously documented.
Fascinating. From lost churches to, well, the land itself. Let's talk about the flow of time, starting with the river, the Dropt.
Ah, the river name. I love this bit.
Me too. The etymology is amazing. It's originally Gaulish, Dubron,
Which the Romans Latinized to Dubrum or Dubrum.
and it comes from this ancient Indo-European root, dower or dro, simply meaning to flow. So dropt literally means running water.
Yeah, but what's really cool is seeing that root pop up everywhere. In the same region, you have l'Urbis or Ubris. The river itself is called Draught, Dropt, or Droth in old texts.
And its tributaries too, right?
Exactly, la Dodèse, la Dodène, la Dornègue. And then you look further afield, across Europe.
Like La Dorbie in Aveyron.
L'Orbe in Hérault, la Dore in Allier, even la Doria in Italy, la Douro in Portugal. It's all from that same ancient root for flow. Shows these incredible deep linguistic connections.
It really does. Language flowing like water across time and borders. Okay, so from flowing water to enduring paths. The road to Villeneuve.
Another piece connecting past and present. This road has been a major route for ages. It shows up on the oldest maps of the area.
Imagine the history that road has seen.
Well, the Town Crier gives us a glimpse of it in 1920. Back then, the main road, what's now the National Road, was just white stones.
White stones, like gravel.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just starting to reinforce it. Back then, the photo apparently shows little piles of gravel on the side, ready for work.
And now?
Now, it's a departmental road under the departmental's control. And funny enough, the June 2025 issue mentions resurfacing works currently underway. So still being maintained, still evolving.
A century of change on one road. It makes you think, like the source says, it is indeed hard to imagine what it might look like in 2125.
Absolutely. Puts our moment in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The constant flow of change.
Speaking of change over time, there's one building in Castillonnès that embodies this maybe more than any other. The Church of St. Roch. It's had so many lives.
Oh, this story is incredible. Its origin is really powerful, actually. Born from a major crisis.
What happened?
It goes back to 1653. There was a devastating outbreak of plague. This was after years of famine, too, so the town was already suffering. The plague apparently killed more than a third of the town's population.
A third. That's catastrophic.
Truly horrific. So on April 16th, which is St. Roch's feast day, he's often invoked against plague. The town leaders, the consuls, and prominent citizens made a vow.
The vow was?
They promised to build a church in his honor if the plague came to an end. A desperate, hopeful act.
Wow. And did the plague end? Did they build it?
They did build it, though, interestingly, there was already a small chapel on that spot, dedicated to St. Roch. It was maintained by a group called the White Penitents back in the early 17th century.
Okay, so there was already something there.
Yes. And later, in the 18th century, Capuchin monks served the chapel, right up until the Revolution. So it had this continuous religious presence.
Until the Revolution, which changed everything, didn't it?
It certainly changed this building's purpose dramatically, because this church, this sacred space, actually became the place where the first revolutionary assemblies were held.
No way. Political meetings in the church.
Yes, including the election of the town's very first municipal council in 1790. From prayers to politics, just like that.
That's a wild transformation. What happened after the Revolution?
Well, it was sold as national property in 1795, and then its uses became, well, very secular, very quickly.
Like what?
It was successively used as a forage depot.
Storing animal feed?
Yep. Then a stable for the gendarmerie's horses, and later just a general storage warehouse.
From church to political hub to stable and storage. Incredible.
And the changes kept coming. Moving into more modern times, it was converted into a hotel, the Hôtel de France.
A hotel?
And later on, a bicycle shop. And after that, an office for a property company.
Good grief. It's like the building couldn't make up its mind.
Or rather, the town kept finding new uses for it, reflecting how life was changing. But with all those changes, things get lost.
What do you mean?
The publication mentions that some original features are missing. Specifically, the pulpit. It seems to have disappeared.
Gone. Any idea when?
They suspect it was removed from the church during one of the renovations in the 60s. They actually put a call out asking if anyone knows anything about it.
Lost heritage. And there's a little note about the tree outside, too.
Oh, yeah, just a small detail. The elm tree currently on St. Roch's Square apparently replaced an Italian poplar. That poplar was planted in 1792 and known as the Tree of Liberty.
Ah, another echo of the Revolution.
Exactly. Even the square outside changed with the times, just like the building.
Okay, we've covered history, etymology, architecture, but the Town Crier takes us one step further, doesn't it? Beyond history into myth.
Yes, with this short story, The Guardians of the Tumulus. It's not presented as fact, but as fiction inspired by the local landscape.
And it really shows how these ancient places can spark imagination, maybe tapping into, like, forgotten beliefs.
I think so. The setup is very atmospheric. We meet Brannock, he's a blacksmith, from the Nichio Bridges, the local Gaulish tribe.
Right, the ancient locals.
And he's standing before this ancient site. 2 vertical stones, slightly taller than he was, marking an entrance.
Sure.
3 stone slabs form a threshold.
Evocative imagery.
Definitely.
Huh.
And there's a light mist floating around. The stones have carvings, geometric symbols, spirals, straight and wavy lines, plus inscriptions in the Gaulish alphabet. Instantly feels ancient, mysterious.
And there are sounds, too.
Yes, a deep murmur coming from the earth itself. The mist seems to react, the shadows dance. There's this sense of an invisible sacred circle, maybe marked by old ditches, creating this timeless sanctuary space.
It feels like stepping into another world.
And then he's challenged. A voice asks, "Who dares to disturb the circle of the ancestors?"
Woo!
Followed by other deeper sounds from multiple directions. Grave, almost unreal voices. A cold breeze blows, the ground trembles slightly, and there's this strange humming noise, akin to a swarm of bees.
Wow. So it's not just a place, it's active.
That's the feeling. Brannock looks closer at the threshold stone, sees more engravings, interwoven circles, a boar his clan's totem, and more inscriptions he can't quite read. He realizes he's at one of the forgotten portals.
Portals? Portals to where?
The story suggests they led to the sacred realms of the Nichio Bridges. Some maybe to immortal orchards, almost like a paradise. Others to deep caves described as sanctuaries of souls.
Sanctuaries.
Yeah, places where the living apparently hid during wars, like against the Romans or other invaders. So these sites held this deep, protective, almost spiritual significance, woven with historical memory.
History and myth blurring together.
Exactly. Then this unreal figure appears beyond the threshold, holds out a hand. Brannock feels a cold breath, smells an unfamiliar fragrance, and hears the words, "Listen to the story of the vanquished."
The vanquished, like his ancestors.
Precisely. He reaches out, feels this firm and ice-cold hand grasp his, and suddenly he becomes the interlocutor of a forgotten past. The forest around him vanishes. It's a powerful image, right? How these ancient places can feel like gateways, connecting us directly to the people and beliefs of the deep past. History and myth become this living presence.
So wrapping this all up, this dive into just one issue of the Town Crier of Castillonnès has been quite a journey.
It really has. It just proves that Castillonnès is truly a place full of mysteries and surprises.
We've seen everything from really forward-thinking education ideas back in 1920.
The hunting for lost churches that rewrite the town's early story.
Uncovering the ancient roots of a river's name.
Tracing the incredible transformations of one single building.
And even stepping into the mythical echoes held within the landscape. So many layers.
All in one small town's local paper. It's amazing what you can find when you look closely.
And the looking isn't over, is it? The Town Crier hints at more to come.
That's right. They mention a recent discovery of a new treasure, apparently worth millions.
Millions, wow.
Yeah, and they say the next issue, the July one, will be almost entirely dedicated to it, the known treasures, theories about this new find. The story keeps unfolding.
Which really brings us to a final thought for you, listening.
What hidden stories, maybe forgotten solutions like that 1920 school, or perhaps ancient mysteries, are lying just beneath the surface right where you live?
Yeah. What could you uncover if you took a similar deep dive into your own community's past, maybe through old newspapers, local histories, or even just talking to people?
You might find some really unexpected connections, maybe even insights for today.
Absolutely. It's an invitation, really, to explore your own backyard. And hey, if you happen to be near Castillonnès, the Town Crier even invites people to join their Living Heritage Association. Get involved with the research, publications, projects.
So yeah, go on your own deep dive. See what stories your community holds. You never know what you might find.